probably started this broadcast too early. This is your friend Corey at a Mighty Mushroom. Jacob from Portland Pickers and we were talking about cryptocurrency and blockchains and all that other nonsense. And hope they'll pop in here for a second. And we will talk about things to come. I've kind of wrapped up my December in a certain way. Really pretty hard and heavy. Orders that were coming in today, I was shipping out today. So why don't you not do that? We got all the late night treasure hustlers. Control V. All right, that's the chat link. I don't know why Portland Pickers hasn't clicked on the link because that's the reason I'm here. Come on, Jacob. I emailed you the request. A goofball. Anyway, so I had a great December on eBay. It was really awesome. I sold some really unique items that really were high profit and great deals to my customers. So I really feel like I provided great value to my customers. I did have some speed bumps, in moving. I did, I did have some problems with like kind of movement, and my inventory is a little bit jacked. Look at that. We got Portland Pickers. He looks like he just robbed like a storage unit or something.
Robbed the crypto bank of knowledge.
You robbed the crypto bank of knowledge. You have to rob it because I don't give that shit out for free. Well, I guess I give it out to you for free, but only the knowledge part.
That's the only thing I get for free anymore.
Life ain't free, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta get that money. You gotta get that work. It either costs work or money. You gotta get to the point where you can trade money for somebody else's work so you don't have to do it anymore.
Mansplaining business.
Robots mansplaining to you. How can I mansplain to you?
Spoopy.
You had a great December. You had a great December as well, eh?
Yeah, like $1 billion.
No, be real. Like, these people are real. They're here to hear your story. Don't be such a dickhead.
Okay, here, let me look right now. You want real? You want real?
I don't know. I was just asking you how your sales were, and you totally deflected.
Last 60 days. You ready?
Did you get 20?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
18 G's.
Woo! That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
That's exciting.
I don't even know what mine is. That means you had a really awesome December, dude. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're preparing to we're gonna work together in the coming year, and we're both gonna do much better than we would have done otherwise, I believe.
Across many modes.
Let me see. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I'm on par with you.
Oh, we're live already. Oh.
I'm at 18,585 for the last 60.
Coochie.
That's not a bad number.
Yeah.
I did have like kind of a focus for a little while on getting some stuff into Amazon while I was gone because I'm going to be gone for a week or whatever. So like I want to still make that money. So I did focus on getting some stuff into Amazon. So that kind of shifted things around a little bit. But yeah, dude, I want to stay like I don't want to ever go below that amount. It's very hard. Those like the Star Wars jackets were pretty good. You didn't even sell any of those, did you?
I haven't sold them.
Yeah. Well, that's mine, including the Star Wars jackets, which I sold at eBay.
That is.
I made really, really good money. Hey, Paisley. Hey, Coal City. Hi, Kayla.
What do you think yours is going to be like?
Oh, Kayla got her new webcam. Let's see. Hold on. Let's divert. Oh, look, it's Michael. Hey, Michael.
I did. No more crazy.
What did you buy?
Logitech C920.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's very clear. I'm like, holy shit, that's a good difference.
It's very clear, but you know what's really different about it than the other camera you might want to adjust the settings possibly. It's very shifted to the blue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't like done anything to it yet.
Yeah,
So
and it's probably the screen reflecting off of your face. It just
I
picks
have
that up
two
a little bit
screens.
more.
Like,
Oh, okay, yeah. It looks like you're in a.
I've got like a tanning bed going
Exactly, that's
on.
the exact words I was gonna say. It looks like you're in a tanning bed right now, and your cat's like digging in the
Very good.
corner over there. Your
He
cat's in
wants
the
back
tanning
out
bed.
of the room.
That's cool. I'm glad you got that situation fixed. Jacob and I were talking about cryptocurrencies and that kind of thing before. So, hi, Nicole.
Hey,
What's going down?
echoey.
What's the word on the street?
There isn't one. Hi guys. How's it going?
I'm having a relaxing evening on my couch here after a long day of doing nothing.
You're not in your dungeon. It's awkward.
I'm not in the dungeon. It's awkward. This is my couch. This is my house. If you want to see my house, look, that's a radio from the 1930s. A really nice cathedral radio there. This is my lamp. It's on top of a vintage mushroom dehydrator, ironically. You can see it there. You see it there? That's a mushroom dehydrator. But I use it as a piece of furniture.
No, it's so fancy.
Yes,
you know. Your camera is so dry.
That's what I meant.
Email me the.
You must have. That was not entertaining at all, Jacob. So we were talking about cryptocurrencies and like how they work, and they're like some specific applications and how they're going to change the way that commerce like occurs, and how just most people don't even have a basic understanding of what they actually are. And what their individual purposes are. The crazy thing about like a dollar bill is
wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be super rude. Will you email me the link? I'm on my phone. It's like not.
Oh yeah. Hold on. I emailed it to you a minute ago.
Yeah, it didn't go to my email, and I can only join through my phone, but I want to join through my laptop so it works right.
So just send it to the regular.
Like Miss Nicole State, but send an actual email.
I didn't want to say that over the internet. I didn't know if that was one that was more private or whatever. Okay, so I just sent it. Oh no, I don't know. I don't want to breach your security. Security is important. Okay, it is. It's important.
Goodness.
So where were we? So we were talking about, like if you're in the chat, I'm gonna try to keep going back. Okay. Thrift Shop Officer is going to jump in and talk about crypto, but I was talking about Dogcoin with so if you don't know
Still you Dogcoin.
Listen. Dogcoin is one of the few currencies that's actually used for something. Like Dogcoin is used for like internet tipping and has been for a while. You can do like hyper micro transactions with it. Like one doggy coin is like 0.006 cents, and it started. I mean, only a couple of months ago it was like 0.0006 cents. So it's risen in value like an order of magnitude. But anyway, Dogcoin versus Litecoin or Bitcoin is a great example of like how you can have multiple currencies and have multiple concurrent currency platforms or contract platforms that exist in Jesus Christ. Like, send me links. Okay, so Dogcoin. So the difference between Bitcoin or Litecoin, which are not inflationary currencies. I probably should move this or something because it's all bouncing up and down when I get excited. Dogcoin can continuously be mined, and the mining process creates more Dogcoin each time. So there's a chunk of transactions that need to be approved. when those transactions are approved, you can get more Dogcoin. If you want to learn about mining a coin or what like these kind of first iterations of what mining is, Dogcoin is definitely in there, and you can still mine it today. It's very easy to mine. The value is very, very small. It's fractions of a penny. But what people would do is mine Dogcoin and then convert it into other coins and then convert those coins into Bitcoin. So once you have cryptocurrency,
So wait, first of all, let's pause. What is mining?
Mining is the process of like solving the information or the cryptography that it takes to like authorize that this block of information is accurate, basically. So with Bitcoin, there's a block of transactions, and then there's a giant code, basically, and somebody cracks that code so that the transaction can be verified, basically. It's very simplified. They also solve the transactions. That's why they verify the transactions. That's why miners get transaction fees.
So how does the computer know to do that? You have
It's part of the software. It's part of the. It's you're running these algorithms. So they use GPUs for Bitcoin, and GPUs are these graphic processing units, and they're really good. They're not application specific, which means they're designed for lots of applications, but they're very good at solving the Bitcoin puzzle. This little puzzle that gets more complex as the more miners you have. It's basically to resist the network being broken down from any one entity. That's what I believe. Now, I'm not 100% accurate here. I'm not giving anybody like cryptocurrency advice. I'm just basically like explaining it on a very, very like basic level. So the thing about Bitcoin is the first currency, and if you've heard of Litecoin is like was one of the first secondary currencies to Bitcoin. Litecoin, what it did is the developers of Litecoin understood that you could basically get bigger and bigger and bigger if you had the right equipment and you could develop the right equipment. You could outpace everybody at mining Bitcoin, or you could increase the complexity of the network so much that you could block out anybody else because you could perform more more of these they're called hashes. So you need to be able to basically you need to solve this algorithm. So Litecoin saw that, and they created an algorithm that resisted growth through or complexity of the system, which obviously slows down the system, through creating this algorithm that resisted the use of application-specific hardware. Okay, so I have a piece of hardware, and it's specifically made to crack the Bitcoin equation. It doesn't do anything else, right? So these guys already saw that would be a problem, and then they created Litecoin. Litecoin has like a 2-minute block time, which means 2-minute maximum block time, I think. So transactions are really, really fast, and they're really, really, really cheap because they're 0.001 Litecoin right now, I think. And you can adjust that rate somehow, I guess.
Which is about
It's really, really, really cheap, and that's what Bitcoin was designed to do. But all of the application specific driving that's happening right now and making the complexity really, really difficult, like people can't even use it. Like it takes hours to make, like, so I tried to send like 0.1 Bitcoin, and it was like $21 to send 1,000 or something. So it wasn't in extreme, but it's supposed to be like fractions of a Bitcoin. So it's like the number of transactions affect what the transaction fees are because there's a block expectation. So there's only 21 million Bitcoin that'll ever be made, or whatever it is. It's an arbitrary number. It doesn't matter. As long as it's a number that can be reached and you cannot go past that. It's an unexceedable value of the total amount of currency. Okay, so Bitcoin has that, which is scarcity is inbuilt, and like it being divided will have to occur. So Dogcoin is a really funny one because there was a show called Homestar Runner. Has anybody ever heard of Homestar Runner?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a skit in Homestar Runner where Homestar does like, not Homestar, Strong Bad does these emails and they're hilarious. And
The best.
he responds to emails and he's just really not that smart. He tries hard, but he's just not that smart. So he's like, "What's up, dog?" Like he misspells dog, DOGE. So he's like, Dodge, dog, but he's "What's up, my dog?" And he like writes it as DOGE, and that's where the name of it came from.
Is that where that came from?
I believe that's where that came from. I cannot fully verify that, but that's the only reference to that I know of. Like, because I'm like early internet nerd. Like, I don't really.
I thought it came from the whole like Shiba dog.
That came
memes.
after, right? The guys who
Yeah.
developed it, that was just like a meme that was associated with it later.
I thought that's where the word came from. I don't remember it
Mm.
from the Homestar
Do
skit.
you want to? Oh, if I put that on here, they're gonna. kick us
No,
off.
don't do it.
Don't put a
Have we not
Jesus
learned
Christ.
our lesson?
No, I already learned my lesson. So look up DOGE Homestar Runner, and you'll see the skit about "That's my dog," and that I believe that is where it comes from. So this currency, there can never be. It's like the U.S. currency. It just gets printed, and printed, and printed, and printed, and it's. Bitcoin is like at 18,000 per coin, and Dogcoin is like at 0.006 cents per coin. So there's a huge variance in. Now there was over 1,000 cryptocurrencies, and the early cryptocurrencies were really funny. There was like Potcoin, which might still exist. I have no idea. There was like Potcoin. There was one coin where it had like an application where like when you traded coins, you could make bets on a wheel, and if you won, you could there was all kinds of like weird applications that you can do with a blockchain. So, and people were supposed to develop those applications, I guess, but they never really did for some reason. Maybe they were just too difficult to develop. So that's kind of like where Ethereum comes in. Ethereum uses blockchain technology, but it allows software to complete contracts and own money, I guess. So, like, let's say Nicole wanted to buy 10,000 purses or whatever, and this other person said that once this authorization token was made, like I agree and you agree, the tokens come together basically, and it's done. The contract is done. And let's say you have a contract that needs to be repeated. You don't have to make a new contract. It's a software application that's within the Ethereum blockchain already. So I believe that's what makes Ethereum different. It's much easier to use the developer side of it to create like applications that are relevant for the transfer of information or currency. What's up?
Bishop Hustler's here.
I know. He knows
Yeah,
all about
yeah.
cryptocurrency.
Yeah, Corey, the expert's here. Step aside, son.
Where are you right now?
I'm at work actually. I'm on lunch.
It
break.
looks like you're in the Matrix and
Did
like
you just
like
did you hear us talking about crypto coin?
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
No. It's funny.
across the web.
I am in the Matrix actually. It's funny that you say that.
I know we're all here. It was lovely to meet you in the Matrix.
no, but he's probably literally because he works in film, right? Like,
Yeah, like he has like a cord attached to the back of his head, and they're feeding him like some kind of weird alien sperm or something.
They are. This is where the alien sperm comes out of right here. Dude, I'm serious. They plugged me in, and
Lovely to see you, Chris. How you doing, man?
I'm good, dude. Just came to join. I'm on lunch, so I only have like I don't know, 20 minutes.
Well, like,
Educate us.
well, say
Educate us.
say three things about cryptocurrency. Like, do you have three things that you would want to tell everybody that were like extremely important and like very to the point, like three very strong tips about like before you even get into it, like what, like some caveats or some tips?
I guess every coin's different. Always save your passwords. Don't ever lose your passwords. You want to private keys because private keys are important. Because if you go to exchange, you don't own the Bitcoin or any of the cryptos. It's on their service. You don't own the private keys unless you hold the private keys in a hardware wallet or a paper wallet or something like that. just do your research. That's like the biggest thing I can say. Like when I got into crypto in 2012, I did like so much research. I read
Me
like
too.
every white paper out there.
I would send
Second
like
re-
0.001 coin somewhere and like see what happened. Like you want to like really understand how you cannot get it back. One is it is gone. If you send it to the wrong address, you can it's gone. Seriously, even if it's an
So
address
that's like
that
no, that's actually a good point. So like one of the tips is if you're going to send a Bitcoin to an address, it's not like sending it to an email address. You have to send it to this long string of numbers. Just make sure that the numbers on the first ones and the last ones are the same, because you don't want to send it to a wrong address, because then you never get your shit back. It's the Wild West, man.
it
Crypto's
is
forever.
it's like the wildest Wild West. And I believe that, you know, broad adoption for specific applications isn't that far. Broad adoption
Yeah,
for whole economies is much farther, but when you think about the scalability and how technology is growing, it's nothing is far fetched at this point.
yeah, agreed.
I mean, there's already cards that you can load, and then you can swipe it in, and it transacts and converts to wherever you're buying something.
Whenever you give up security, you need to understand who owns that security. If it's a penny or $1,000,000 in this game, it's like you need to understand where that sits and how any application or any transfer address acts. Like you can't just put your faith and be like, "Oh, this is what this is. I'll just send it there." Like, don't do
Yeah.
that. You will lose it. There are tons of people in the space too that are looking to take advantage of people who don't know what the hell they're doing.
Absolutely. Like this is like everyone wants to treat this shit like it's preschool. This is freaking high school, yo. You're getting your own locker. All right.
No, this is like you have a Maserati in the garage, and like you need to keep the keys because like you can't. It's an invisible Maserati.
Here's the thing too. Like everyone gets caught up on the profits and everything, but it's about the technology. You shouldn't get into it about the investment, because you're
You're
gonna
lose.
you're gonna lose.
Yep.
Like you want to get into it for the technology. You want to invest what you can afford to lose. I guess that's another good tip, because if you could pretty much lose it all, even if it's on Coinbase. Coinbase was going through some crazy shit today with the release of Bitcoin Cash on there. Did you see about that, Corey?
Yeah, dude. So yeah, that conspiratorial nature of that was a little bit strange, right?
Well, they said that like there could have been some insider trading going on, because there's certain people that knew that Bitcoin Cash was going to get released today.
Yeah. Are you serious? And there was an initial spike. There was an initial spike to get a dropout in the market. It's like perfectly patterned insider trading right there.
Well, see, here's the thing. This is the perfect example of why you should hold your private keys when you're dealing with cryptocurrency, is because a place like Coinbase, where that holds your Bitcoin, they have the private key. They say what's up. If you want to sell your Bitcoin when it's super high and they lock you out, you're screwed. So it's another good way to have.
Also, yeah, I mean, they can blame it on anything. So if you don't have this is the difference between cryptocurrency and other types of like assets, is you can actually you can hold it without fault. But if you give up security, somebody will absolutely take it if they have to. Or if they can. It just depends on the nature of trust that you have with the entity that you're dealing with. So if you have an encrypted public key that you created offline, and somebody steals your computer, or let's say somebody picks up your computer and they open up your Litecoin application and they know anything, or they could just find out on the internet. Like it's like these things. It's like, imagine you have a bank. Like, what do they do at the bank? There's a guy with a gun outside. It's really that serious. Like, you become your own security, and if you don't understand security, don't get into the space, because there are people like Mt. Gox. Like, things have happened that are really bad. And
yeah, I was going to say, here's the crazy thing about cryptocurrency is like, it's great for other countries that their currency is all jacked up, because if you have a brain wallet, which means like it's like
13
remember
words
like
probably.
13 words, you can cross a border and just remember the 13 words in your brain, go to a computer, set up your wallet, type in those 13 words, and you got your freaking coins like right there. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you can convert your impossible to remember key to a mnemonic device and then travel across the universe with that. Like it's pretty amazing. But so that's how I started trading Bitcoin. Is I was trading Bitcoin in Argentina, and they have 25% inflation. So I just started like trading zero point zero 0.05 coin here, zero point zero 0.03 coin, like very small amounts, even very small dollar amounts. And then I kind of learned about it, and then there was like a weird crash, and it kind of like made me step back a little bit and watch for a long time, basically until now. I didn't think I would have never thought anything like I saw early bubbles, like because people were trading and creating crypto just in the beginning. Bitcoin was not a loner. Once people saw that Bitcoin could be profitable, they started creating ICOs. ICOs are not a new thing by any means. We were talking about the other coins the other day. There were like 600 coins in like 2013.
Yeah.
So any way that you can, I mean, yeah, I'll shut up now.
So did you have any questions, Jake?
So this last week, I've just been basically doing as much research as possible. And Erica can attest to this. She's like, you're not even working anymore. I'm like, I need to research. I need to understand what is happening, because just watching the market and also just kind of starting to understand the technology a little bit, I see the application, I see where it's going. And when you look at how our conventional fiat monetary system is structured, and you look at the cryptocurrency structure, and you look at the applications, it's the buggy versus the Ferrari, and you know where this is going to go.
What happens to the currency that's available to when it's incorruptible? So it's like the world money supply is corrupt, so people suffer for that, and this moves us to a place where it's much less corruptible, right?
Well, so Jacob, here's a tip for everyone, and this is gonna sound a little crazy, and you got to get used to it. But if you go on YouTube and you want to like do research on anything, you can change the speed of the video to 2 times. I know sounds crazy, but
my friend does this.
So does my
I do
husband.
that every day to like learn twice as much in less time. So at first it's going to sound crazy, but once you start to get used to it and you do it I only watch YouTube videos in 2 times speed now. It's crazy.
My husband does that, and he also has an app that cuts out any dead noise. So pauses in between words, it cuts all of that out too.
I don't want any of that. Can I?
And he says that it saves him like 3 hours like per thing that he like listens to. It's crazy.
Yep.
How do I do that?
If you go to any video and you go to the little the little gear icon where you change the HD, there's a thing that says speed or something like that. It's usually set to normal.
Do you notice you talk faster?
Well, that too. Well, I've always talked fast, but when you do that for long
information faster.
Yeah, so when you do that long enough, everyone seems like they're so slow, and you're like, hurry up! Like, come on, get the words out. What are you doing? What are you doing? And like people start to like freak out, but it's just like your brain's just getting in so much information at once.
So his app says that he's listened to 24 days worth of stuff, and he's saved 5 days.
Yeah.
That's a lot of days. I always thought when I first saw the Chris, the thrift shop hustler, I actually thought he was the Micro Machine Man.
Do I really talk that fast?
Yes, dude, you're like one of the fastest talking humans.
It's probably from all the 2 times YouTube speed videos.
Let's get that shit up to 4 times. They have 4 times speed.
No. After 2, I've tried it. After 2, it starts to you can't You can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
as long as I'm still getting my AdSense, you can watch my videos in like 12 times.
Now, see, here's the thing. I don't know if YouTube actually gives you watch time equivalent to 1 times, or if they cut it in half if you do
that's
2 times.
messed up.
No, I don't know. I don't know if they do that or not.
Holy crap.
You know what? I know someone who works for YouTube. I'm gonna ask him.
Ask them. That's a good question. No one's ever asked that question, to my knowledge.
You just found a rip in the matrix.
I'm gonna message her right now. How would I phrase this?
If someone watches a video at 2 times speed, does it count as full watch time?
There you go. Perfect.
Exactly.
They're
These
like,
are
oh my God,
delirium.
what have we done?
It's just crazy to hear everyone talk about cryptocurrencies when it was like so like underground, like literally like a year ago even. And now
Yeah, I mean,
like,
it really came to the surface about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But people have been talking about Bitcoin for a long time.
You know what I want to talk about that's eBay related?
Okay.
What's up?
Cryptocurrencies on eBay?
You guys, okay, so did you guys hear about what is it, Close 5?
No.
No? Okay. I've been waiting to
No.
to make an official post about it because I'm trying to get like more official word on it. But basically it's eBay's answer to like OfferUp.
Nice.
Ah.
That would be really nice to have.
And I knew they were working on this because when I went to eBay in Portland, I walked by an area and the person giving me my tour was like, oh, like, do you ever sell on Craigslist? And I was like, no, not really. It's not my thing. I don't like people. Like, I don't want to like deal with people one-on-one.
I hear you.
Another diamond from Nicole State.
You won't care about this. Because we're working on building something, you know, where you can do local stuff. So I knew something was coming, but it looks like they did an official like announcement today.
I think it's awesome.
About it.
Yeah,
What's that going to look like? Is it literally just going to be the Craigslist of eBay?
I hate Craigslist because I don't like the people who kind of like troll Craigslist. I don't like dealing with those people, and I just don't like. I think it's such an antiquated platform. It's just like it's kind of useless to me. I mean, it's good for like housing rentals. It's good for housing rentals.
It is totally 1998, huh?
1998?
Oh, so
it's like
actually,
1993.
Okay, look at if you go to they've been working on this for a while actually. So if you go to Google close, actually I'll just put it in the little chat thingy. Hold on.
Does eBay still jack you for fees?
Probably.
Yeah, eBay wants their money, definitely.
So it looks like this is it, November 2nd. We're bringing local buying and selling to eBay. To our Close 5 community, eBay developed Close 5 to change the way people buy and sell locally. Today, we're excited to announce the team behind Close 5 will now lend its expertise, blah, 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 blah.
Why are no YouTubers talking about this?
Wait. So Close 5 will no longer be supported as a standalone application website.
Right,
I got it. Because they acquired it. Because eBay acquired it.
Well, eBay built this.
Okay.
So
it's like an incubator project or something.
Yeah, it's an incubator that they built. See, eBay developed Close 5, so they just didn't have it on the actual eBay site.
Yeah.
And it looks like now they will. One
thing I've been noticing, because I am living in 1993, I still use Craigslist occasionally.
Yes.
They're promoting. There's eBay ads within Craigslist, like listings. You can click through. If you're searching something on Craigslist, it will link you to that item selling on eBay.
I don't know why they don't have Mercado Libre here. That's what they use. eBay owns Mercado Libre, or at least a huge portion of it, and it's basically like mostly a local. I mean, you can ship stuff with it, but it's mostly oriented to like local trades for cash. You know. That's what I was using when I was selling in Argentina. I mean, I was using eBay too, mostly to ship into the United States and Europe. But Mercado Libre is awesome. I really like the eBay platform. I like the service that they provide, and I like what they do. So I would definitely I would
Check it out.
definitely use that. Yeah, and with the shop here and having a local place where people can actually come, it just makes that actually makes me really happy.
Chris, have you heard of Bazaar?
Open Bazaar.
Yeah.
Chris was talking about it the other day.
Yeah, the thing is, like, Open Bazaar doesn't have that much traffic, so
Sure.
I would definitely open up a shop just to try it out and put a few things on there. But there's really not that much traffic. I've probably sold, the last thing I sold was probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it was like a Bitcoin shirt. So it's that kind of space.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
who knows where it can go? So that's
Yeah.
why I'm on there.
Well, I mean, it would seem sensible that you import your listings from eBay on there and just,
Yeah, it's a lot harder than that because they have listings and you have to literally, you could copy and paste and stuff like that, but there's no like tools where you can just like put it CS.
But you can hide, like on eBay, it's really hard to hide your.
I'm hoping what happens is that you have the ability to make all your listings local pickup if you want.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Like,
that'd be awesome.
imagine if you could, because I mean, I have a space, you have a space. Like, I would do that. Like, whatever. Yeah, you want to come pick it up? Come pick it up. So, like, I think that'd be super cool to have everything have the ability to do local pickup, and even cooler if one day eBay had some like self-driving cars that came and like picked up your shit and delivered it directly.
So you didn't have to deal with the person.
No, so they got it same day and they could compete with Amazon.
Yeah.
And you don't have to deal with the person.
Well, eBay has it.
Like
eBay has like has warehouses anywhere. If there were like fast-moving products that that eBay wanted to put in my warehouse, I'd do it.
Did you guys see Amazon fees went up like crazy? They're going to be going up crazy in 2018.
They always do.
No, but like storage fees. Well, no, you should have got an email if you do FBA. And
yeah, so mine went from $2.67 a cubic foot to $2.67 a cubic foot already.
No, but what I'm saying is people that like have like refrigerators and crazy shit like that, it's like astronomical. Like the prices that went up.
It's $2.67 a cubic foot.
They want your shit out of there.
Yeah, they want to deal with smalls like we want to deal with. They want the easy money. Yeah. They don't want to deal with heavy shipping costs. Like their return process is so fucked that is ridiculous. They have the most inefficient and ridiculous return process that has. Anytime you add a step, you add room for error. And there's just so many steps and so many places for error, and the seller has to deal with all of that because they take very little responsibility. They took high responsibility, and now they have really reduced that significantly.
I hate to go 180 on you guys, but are any of you guys on Merch by Amazon?
I am.
I have a few things up, but I don't do it actively. But I'm curious to know what's going on with it.
Well, they were supposed to like give us an update today on the 19th about whether or not they're going to lift the holds on everyone's accounts because we can't upload and all that stuff, and they didn't even say anything today.
Dude, that's not surprising.
I tried to set up an account, and that was 3 months ago.
Yeah, people have waited almost a year, dude, to get in. So if I were you, I would probably try to get in with another email address.
Okay.
And then what did you put in for your blog or like your website, your web presence?
I don't even remember.
See, that's important from what I heard. So just make sure you have a good web presence when they ask you for why you want to do this and what your website is. Just make sure you have something that's solid that someone can look at.
Yeah, I got approved really quickly when everyone else was like waiting long.
Yeah. What did you use for did you put States Place? Do you have a statesplace.com or what did you use?
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe something. I had statesplace.com automatically moves to the crates, but so that was. Oh, it was my YouTube. So statesplace.com was linked to my YouTube at that point. So if I used Statesplace, it would have just like.
Gotcha.
Which is a good.
They suspended my ability to upload stuff way before they suspended everybody else's. So yeah. I mean, mine was suspended in like September, August, like I couldn't upload stuff anymore.
Well,
Instead, I had to wait.
We talked about this before. You said you laid your account laid dormant for a while, so that's what
So then I
happens.
reapplied. Yeah, so I reapplied. They reapproved me, but it's like you can't upload. It's like you can do 10, but we're not accepting them right now. That's what it says. I can screenshot it and show you.
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about. They've had
Yeah.
us held down for about, I think, 2 weeks now.
Yeah, mine's been that way for months.
I was super pumped, you guys. I had a small victory because you know how everyone knocks you off, like Teespring, people on Teespring, and like you'll get knocked off if your design's popular.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So one of my designs gets knocked off like all over the place, and so it was on eBay under like States Place listing shirt or something. And I emailed Teespring and was like, "Yo, this is my design," and they were like, "Yeah, someone uploaded it." Like whatever. It basically blew me off, and so I sent them an email, and I was like, "Oh, well, it's called States Place, and that's a copyrighted name. I hope, like, I'm happy to have my lawyers contact you." Total lying out of my ass.
Mm-hmm.
And they
trademark your
said,
shit.
"We're so sorry, the listing has been removed."
Smooth.
So just that's like a little tip. If you bullshit your way through, it might work.
I'm sure there's bots that just harvest shirts off the internet and post them on those sites.
I'm sure.
Shirt bot. It's a good way to get to a lot of merch shirts, huh? You just get the shirt bot, the merch bot.
But it's almost impossible to get him taken down. So I was super stoked that they listened to my like total lie.
Maybe they were not anyway. You know, I mean, generally you have to kind of prove that you are the trademark or copyright holder, because if you don't have a trademark or a copyright, then it actually is public domain. So, you know, just a tip.
I just summoned wine. I summoned it.
You summoned wine?
Yeah.
I also summoned alcohol.
Is that different than summoning whining?
Cheers.
How's work going tonight, Thrift Shop Hustler?
Good. A little frustrating with network issues, but other than that, pretty good.
I think it's cool that you're at work right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on lunch, so it's totally
lunch, dude. It's like 10 o'clock.
I work till 3 a.m. every day.
I did not know that. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, what's even worse is I have to get up at 7:20 to take the kids to school.
Ooh.
So when do you sleep?
Never.
Sleep.
Is that why you're so evilos?
That's why I'm so evilos. I think I get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night.
Oh.
Yeah.
You double your speed on video content. You cut your sleep in half. This man
he's wearing a turtleneck, but it looks like he's wearing a hoodie, but it looks like a turtleneck.
I thought it was a turtleneck too. I was like, it's cozy as fuck.
It totally looks like a turtle. You look like Steve Jobs over there.
Oh yeah.
Turtleneck.
Joe does the same thing. So he works 12 hours overnight. He works 7 to 7:30 basically, and then he sleeps until noon, and then wakes up and like goes and gets the kids.
What the hell?
Yeah,
that's a crazy work schedule.
I try to get a little bit of sleep between like 8 and 9, but it rarely happens because I got so much going on.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I usually sleep at night. I like to sleep at night.
How much active research do you do pertaining to the crypto market?
I don't know. Like every once in a while, I'll look at something. Like the thing is, when you're in it for so long, there's so much new stuff coming out that I usually, actually, my brother's the one that's into it big time, and he'll tell me about, oh, go look at this or go look at that, and then I'll go look at it. But I don't go actively seeking crypto knowledge at all. Like, you know, I know my stuff, and then if there's something that interests me, I'll go and look at it. I'm not doing research all the time.
Gotcha.
No, and I mean, there's just so much happening in the space right now. It's like explosive.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why it's so important to really have your.
But the crypto data stream is like, if you're like, oh, I'm going to capture this data stream, you're wrong. There's just too much happening. The pipeline is too big. It's like it's becoming like internet-esque in the amount of data that's being transferred, because you have to think about all the transactions that are occurring and all this other stuff. So it's like a lot of info.
And like, I'm not a coder, or I don't like math or anything. So like the whole algorithm shit of it, I
I love
can't,
that.
I can't figure it out, dude.
I love it. That's what makes it difficult. And when things are difficult, it makes them initially harder to adopt, but
Hence more
also
learning.
harder to destroy.
God, I do look like I have a fucking turtleneck on. What the hell?
Yeah,
God, I got a neck. I really do.
I thought you were in Devo for a minute. I thought you were like one of those Devo
You
guys.
were just being cozy as fuck. Like, that's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whip it good.
There's nothing wrong with being cozy.
It's not.
Being what?
Cozy.
Nosy?
Cozy, warm, cuddly, cozy.
Oh yeah, I've got a hoodie on. It just doesn't look like a turtleneck. It looks like a mushroom. Whoa.
That makes sense.
All right, guys, it's been good. Everyone, have a good night, and see you tomorrow.
We'll miss you.
Yeah, dude.
Have
See
a
you,
good
buddy. Always good to see you, man.
Have fun, guys.
All the love.
Yeah, so Jacob and I were talking about cryptocurrencies, and we're like, why don't we just go on the internet and talk about cryptocurrencies, because then we'll bore more people than ourselves. I was like trying to balance a pen on her nose. She's so bored.
I'm trying to avoid all this shit I need to do. Taylor, what are you doing?
What do you got to do?
Actually,
She came to avoid it.
Let her talk. I'm gonna mute you in a minute.
Jesus. Well, I have to write my mission statement.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's mostly what I'm avoiding.
Okay, why? What's exciting?
I'm not good at writing, so I had to write an essay to do the Shine Award. So to get into the Shine Awards, you had to like write an essay for eBay, which is why this whole thing started. I'm not a writer by any means. I don't have like good grammar, vocabulary. So my best friend, who is a writer and like went to school for writing, I paid her to write it for me.
For the Shine Awards.
Yeah.
Did it
you
work?
want to say that on the internet?
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's fine. I think
you're
it's
allowed
fine to
to.
pay somebody
I
to
actually
write
read
it.
all the rules to make sure that that was allowed, and that was like absolutely allowed as long as you owned the rights to it. Basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can. I mean, lots of people pay people to write speeches for them and
Some
write all
things
kinds
have
of stuff.
weird rules. That's the only reason I
No,
asked.
I read all the rules first because I was like, I don't want to do it raw. Like, if I was supposed to write it myself, I would have, but I had somebody else write it because I'm a really bad writer. I told her what I wanted in it, and she basically just like ghost wrote it for me.
If you write something up and you send it to me, I'll take a look at it. I like to copyright-ish. So.
All right. Well, yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll write a few different ones up, and maybe you can give me some pointers.
Yeah. Yeah, my skill is like turning like kind of is compressing to get rid of the filler and use words that like are more bring out the context. Definitely.
Yeah,
No, I'm good at that actually.
So how did the Shine Award play out? Did you?
I did not win.
I did not.
I thought that was going to be the conclusion. You're like, I have to credit for a writer.
No, I was a runner-up actually, so I didn't get into like the top 5 or whatever. But I ended up being a runner-up, and then I got put into this program, and then that's how I got.
That's very important. Exactly. So I was going to ask you, what are the benefits of being like nominated for the Shine Awards or for like being a winner? What are the incentives for that?
So I think it's interesting. I think the Shine Awards might be fixed a little because
all awards are fixed.
Yeah, I kept getting these emails that were like, apply for the Shine Awards, but they were not like, they were like from actual eBay employees. Like it wasn't like the normal emails. And so I'd ask other people like, yo, did you get this? Did you get this? Did you get this? And no one else was getting these like weird emails. And so I applied, and then I ended up getting runner-up. And then you know how you can go on your account and you can look and see who has access? You learned about this with Crazy Lister, right?
Yep.
So I went on my account recently, and I saw around the time of the Shine Awards, there was a thing put on my account, and it was like, What do you look for? What's the little section you go into? I'll tell you exactly what it says.
Yeah, it basically is it basically who has access to your account. They basically have power of attorney over your account.
Yeah, but what is the
I can't remember what the setting is called, but it's like permissions or something.
But anyway, in the permissions, there was like something, small business of the year.
Oh, cool.
So clearly, I was like, they were trying to get me to like go in for small business of the year.
Well, they were using that as a data stream monitor probably to understand like your numbers better. So instead of just your numbers being part of everybody else's numbers in this, they assign that as like a data stream modifier so that they could pull data out in a certain way and have that permission to pull data out and like create a data stream of your account to like understand where you sat with all these other people because they're using like computer-based metrics. Cassini is like a computer intelligence like machine.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just it's just a theory. It's a theory.
But then I got the winning thing here is because of that essay, I ended up in this program called it's how I met my like basically I ended up in this great program. It was like a contest, and then bigger things happened because of that. So at the end of the day, I'm super glad I didn't win the Shine Award, and then I got put into this other thing.
Well, maybe the outcomes would have been similar. Maybe it would have been better to win the Shine Awards because you got like money or something.
Well, that's true.
Or like pie, because everybody likes pie, right?
There was definitely a pie included in the reward. I saw that.
I fucking love pie.
That's how we get you to the award ceremony. We're like, if you win first place, you get pie. And then that's all we have to do to lure you in is pie.
Did you try out for the Shine Awards, Kayla?
No. I'm not about that life.
Sorry.
She don't need that spotlight to shine.
I don't need that shit.
I mean,
that's too much. That's too much.
It's kind of like, why not? I did. You know, they sent me an email. I was like, all right. I mean, throw a bone at it. See what happens.
I got an email too, and I was like, this sounds dumb.
You're dumb.
No, I saw the email, and I was like, oh, I have to write something, and like, oh.
Well, then you just pay someone else to write it.
Exactly.
I didn't really understand.
I'm not as smart as you are, Nicole.
But you read the rules first because someone on the internet is going to post that I did that. And
oh, just wait. Oh, just wait.
I think I didn't understand the benefits of winning either.
It was more fun to watch you do it, honestly. You told me all the like fun stuff that happened, and that was good enough for me. Oh, that's gonna get out on the internet too now. Here we go. Make another video.
I think that it mostly just like killed my soul. That like.
Wait, let's go back to what killed your soul? I totally got lost.
For the program I got put into instead of being like for being runner up, you got put into a program.
They gave you like a dirty sock and like a pin
that said eBay on it.
Dirty sock that said eBay on it. That's your prize.
Commemorative pen.
A can of kidney beans inside of a dirty sock that says
eBay. My kidney and sold it on the black market.
Since you lost, your punishment was that they stole one of your kidneys.
Sold it on the eBay black market.
We all know that's a restricted category.
That is a restricted category.
Paisley just said something very important. She said, "Don't worry, no one watches this."
and once again, we're reminded. Are you guys going to the eBay Open next Open?
Fuck yes. Yeah, dude! I would never miss that ever.
I am so sad that I missed it. I almost made it like a last minute thing, but Mike wasn't able to take time off of work, and I wasn't able to. I mean, I had Hazel, so.
It's so good for making connections. It's kind of dorky in a lot of ways, but like.
So am I.
Exactly. So am I. I was like, I just ate up the dorkiness.
If you guys are going, I will go with you, but I wouldn't go. Joe also was like, I don't think you should go without like a lot of people because there's a lot of people at Open who like would like throw pies at me. So
we will be there to intercept the pies.
I don't think that's the case. I think that it's.
I think that is the case.
No,
I think you're being too kind.
No. Well, we can organize a pie fight if you want.
Can we?
Yeah.
Entourage style.
You gotta settle those differences, or they just fester.
Are we gonna have?
They're festering like a mother.
Well, we can,
matching
Yeah.
shirts,
Can we get matching shirts?
please?
Dude, we can get matching shirts.
Can I say
Okay, now I'm excited.
Truck Nuts 101.
Team Truck Nuts.
Yes.
Truck
People will be like,
Truck
who the hell
Truck-
is?
Truck Nuts eBay Patreon University 101.
A lot of other people get shirts, like other people who would throw the pies at me, so we can just like mock their shirts.
Can it just
Well,
say
like,
something
okay,
about the chicken
a
Patreon?
third of the people at the eBay Open were like people in Jason T. Smith's group. There was like a third of them were those
Yeah,
people.
guess who hates me? All of them.
Well, because they're old? Because they're all like above 60.
They're old and they all sell like rubber stamps on eBay. And
I talked to
that's, like, all
several
they
of them.
do.
They're like, "Yeah, we sell masquerade noses." They all had very like similar weird things that they sold. Like a lot of them had like 100 SKUs that are replenishable of this.
Super nichey. That's like,
Yeah, really weird. Like really
no
weird.
wonder you're doing okay. Literally no one else in the world is selling that.
Like
I'm
no one
almost
even knows what
positive
that is.
I'm almost positive the reason I got like uninvited to talk on stage was because of Jason T. Smith.
Really?
So I don't know who that is.
You're not missing anything.
I don't know if I need to know who that is.
Nope.
I mean,
The people in the chat,
I
they
don't think he has bad intentions. I think they're just old and crabby.
Yeah, I mean, I never had a problem with him. I liked him. I was like in his board, and then one day he came on my YouTube channel and just said I made the worst content ever, and then just started being really mean to me after that.
Oh, well,
Facebook group is.
I mean,
scum.
that's we would all have to watch this and judge it. But I mean, also
Not
like
bad
he was on a
content.
team.
It's okay.
I'm just taking your word for it, right? I mean, I gotta see what he's. I don't know him, and like, it's not that I'm saying I don't believe you. I would like to see exactly what he said and how he said it, because if there's a reason to be like that's fucked, then I would like to know about that because
I think
Nicole's content is bad, and she should feel bad.
I think that the best thing to do is to just not care. Like,
Look at the sweetness going on in the other screen right now.
I know there's like some petting going on.
Yesterday,
We get to see his biceps. Anyway, so like a third of the people,
movements going
a
on
third
right
of the
now.
people at the eBay Open were from Jason T. Smith's Thiele Whopper, and they were all like old ladies and stuff, which was really cute.
2 sips of wine and he's good.
It wasn't a third. It wasn't even close to a third. It was like 10% probably. Actually, they were quite a large group, but no, there was a really there was a really nice. It was really nice to connect with other sellers and get insight, and it was interesting. I don't know. The party was really fun. That's all. Like I always wanted to see the bare naked ladies. They were like, "Remember when eBay was in 1998? It is again. Here are the bare naked ladies."
why would they like
Stereotype themselves? It's hilarious.
I was supposed to go. I got tickets to it twice for free, so I got the ticket to like go and speak in like the room, the hotel, and everything. And they asked me not to speak, but they would still give me my tickets. And then I got tickets again for being like a runner-up, and I got invited to go to like an executive-only like cocktail party, which would have been super cool. I should have done it. But then I was really pissed off that they asked me not to speak, so I was just like, "Fuck that! I'm not going."
No. Anyway, so yeah, it's. I think it's fun. I mean, I don't like Vegas that much, but it was cool. It was cool staying in the MGM, and I don't know. I didn't really have time to do much else because it really is long. They're kind of long days, so most of it is like nonsense. Though they're the same. They're the same kind of courses over the series of the
Oh,
4 days. So you don't need the whole 4 days. But the thing is, like, I just learned so much from talking to other people about how they did things. Everybody was really just as open as we are here almost. I mean, there were some crabby ass hats, but I mean, very few. Very few. And there was a lot of people who were just like, yeah, I'm here for the party. Like, I just want to party.
That's gonna be me. I just want to go to Vegas. I love Vegas.
I'm just gonna hang out with Kayla the entire time.
Dude.
We would make so much trouble in
I
Vegas.
will probably bring my friend Trish. Last time I went to Vegas was with my friend Trish, who's the mortician, and we went because she owns a restaurant, and they were having a restaurant convention, and so we went. But we only went to the restaurant convention for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
So
the
you can
rest
write
of the
that
time,
off.
like, had a blast in Vegas.
That's what everybody does. I went the first night and I played poker until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I went to the eBay Open at like 7, and I went the whole day. And I was like, oh man, I gotta sleep now.
That's gonna be awesome.
But you can degenerate very easily because you're in a casino
Sleep.
on the Las Vegas Strip.
Did you win your poker game?
Yeah, I did.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it took me a long time to win though. That's why I played until like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was down several $100s for a while because I lost a couple of key hands, but kind of kept going, and then won. I like playing poker, but my attention to poker is like really it doesn't. I have so many other things that are they're just more valuable to learn about and do than play poker anymore for me. But
I totally agree.
yeah, I mean, I played in the World Series of Poker at the Rio. I didn't play in the main event, the one that's like $10,000, but I played several of the other events. So the World Series of Poker is called that because it's like, dozens of games that get played in different formats over like, about a month. And the main event is the one that's like $10,000 to buy in. And there's even bigger events than that now too. There's like the 1-for-1 drop. It's like $1 million buy-in event where like 10% of the prize pool goes to like helping people in Africa like dig wells. Basically, the organization is called One Drop. It was started by Guy Laliberté. He started Cirque du Soleil, and he's like a really high roller poker player. So he's a pretty cool dude. He was basically born on the street, kind of, and lived his entire life on the street. I don't think he had a house until he was like much older, and he's like a multi-billionaire. Guy Laliberté. He was born on like the streets of Montreal. Like seriously, like his mother had him into like a blanket on the street in winter. Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah. Very respectable individual. Cirque du Soleil is crazy big, and like permeates Vegas, which is like just a money engine.
They're all really good. I've seen almost all of them, I think.
Yeah,
they're very entertaining.
He fused like performance art with the performance arts. So like telling the story in this elaborate way through like dance and these tricks and all this kind of stuff. I saw one the other day. We brought Lenny to see the one that was in Portland. Contraption or whatever it was. Curio. It's called Curio. Yeah. Me. That was. I mean, it was meh to me. But I had seen they're all the same. They just like have different props. It's like, a contortionist, a juggler, a clown, this and that.
I don't think they're all the same.
They're very, very similar.
Hater.
Is like the big water one, and
I know, but then all of a sudden the guy's juggling, and then there's a clown. And
okay, so then everything in life is also the same. Like everyone is talking, everyone is moving their body. Gosh, everyone's the same.
Call him out. Call him out.
I don't really like Cirque du Soleil that much, but I do like.
You don't like fun.
I have never been accused of not liking to have fun. I was having plenty of fun at the Christmas party.
It just happened.
An accident.
No fun. I know, that was accidental fun.
God damn it! I was trying not to. Are you saying that I was trying? I was actively trying not to have fun, and then like by chance, fun occurred.
Fun came and bit you in the ass.
I got snuck up on by fun.
Nothing to do.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Mother's Mustache ordered a pair of really amazing Chanel clip-on earrings from like the late 60s for me. They're pretty badass. Yeah. And I gave her a Gaiam. Is it Gaiam? Is that the name of the company? Gaiam? Gaiam. Gaiam. They make like yoga gear and yoga bags and stuff. Really nice new Gaiam bag. And I hope she really liked it. I think she did. I don't know if I heard from her to say it.
She said she's never been west of the Mississippi.
Well, we all live west of the Mississippi.
I'm like, come on out.
Get on down here. You can go to so there's this reseller fam thing, and it is being advertised as the largest eBay. What?
Are you going?
I don't know. I just don't want to pay for it.
Missouri.
I told them I would go, but I wouldn't pay because if I go, then other people will go, and it's like free advertisement for them.
I'll promote it for them too, or whatever. I don't have a huge following, but I'll promote it for them
Well, they
because
said
I like the idea,
so it doesn't matter.
but I don't want to pay for it.
They gave me an affiliate link, and so basically, with every affiliate I sell, I make $50. So I haven't promoted it yet, but I also feel weird about that. Like, do I really want to like make money off of the ticket sales? Like,
How much is the ticket?
$300.
Ooh.
$350.
But with
Girl.
I got it's 300, and then I get 50 from every.
That's what the eBay Open only costs $250.
I think that it's going to be a really good event, though. So I don't want to like Emma's speaking, and I really want to go. I just can't decide if I want to just pay for the ticket, if I want to do the affiliate thing. It's really hard to figure out, you know.
Yeah, I was just curious about what you thought. I love events. I really do. I think they're great. I love being able to connect with people.
Hey, so you guys want to talk about something because I just got this fucking email and I might drop the computer.
Okay, what's up?
So my investor is supposed to come Saturday, and he just canceled because I know, and I've been like killing myself this week. I'm like gonna cry.
Maybe it was needed. It was.
Well, in all fairness, he just said an issue happened with my daughter. I have to take care of it, and I'll make the investment without coming.
That's better.
Well, and he'll still come at some point. Like,
yeah, he said he would come next month, which is
okay.
fine.
I mean,
this is good.
Yeah, it could be good. I mean, you don't want him to deflect responsibility. If you got to hold him to something, you need a way to hold him accountable.
Well, this is like that's the issue. Is like I had to I messaged him because it's been like a week, and I was like, well, I talked to him a couple times, but we hadn't finalized everything. And I was like, so like, what time are you coming Saturday? What's the deal? And then he just wrote me back tonight and was like, I can't come. And it's like, well, like, why did I have to reach out to you to get that information?
That's not accountable.
That's been the MO, though.
You'd be pissed at me if I did that to you, probably. So, I mean, I would be unhappy if you did that to me.
And he's clearly trying to like save his ass because he's like, what's your PayPal address? Like, I'll invest right now. And I'm like,
Just send it to him. Let him send you the money.
Yeah. Send him mine while we're at it. If he's feeling really bad.
I have a couple PayPals.
Well, he's trying to save his ass because he knows this is a good deal. He's getting a good deal at the end of the day.
He's getting money for free in the end. Anyway, you got to be like, you got to mail me. I want you to mail me new $100 bills that are sequential.
Who's Flipper Joe?
Flipper Joe is hilarious because he has like the dolphin in his logo. It's hilarious.
I'm trying to figure out the Flipper Joe guy right now.
Flipper Joe comes around a lot. I like Flipper Joe. He always has a funny, often perverted, perspective, but I'm okay with that too.
Like the other thing is like we were supposed to like sign papers. Like I don't really want like. He's like in a good faith, like I'll make the investment. It's like, but we haven't signed anything.
Well, then you make all the rules.
Yeah.
If he sends you the money, then you make
your money. Like I'm not in like.
So before, yeah, I would say even if you don't sign anything before you accept anything, just like put down the points. Like these are the basic points that we talked about. Before I accept anything from you, just say okay or whatever. I mean, you don't want anything to come to question. I know it's impossible to do that because things happen, variables change. That's why they're variable. And the way that your business operates is going to change and be fluid. So it's really hard to make agreements about things that are going to happen in the future. Your current agreements should protect you now, but you also don't want to only look at it from your perspective because that's unfair. You really want to protect everyone in the deal because you want to grow your business. And this is okay. I should say it, what I would do, and that's different than what you should do. So I would want to protect everybody who was part of the deal, and I would want to grow the business sphere because of that, and that's how I like to do business. But I don't have the relationship you have with him. So think about it in those contexts. Like if you accepted money from him and didn't use it in the way that he expected, but you didn't even know that, and he could use that against you in the future, even if it was emotionally, like you can literally just say, no, this is what happened. Here it is. It's in writing right in front of you.
Want to write down intention and consideration.
Yeah.
I'm super annoyed, right? I get it. I have kids. I understand, like, shit happens. But, like...
But if it was you that couldn't show up, like, that wouldn't be cool. Like, if it was the tables were turned, like...
It sounds like an excuse to me, personally, but it's just fine.
And don't you have to sign before the end of the year, too?
No.
He wants to make the investment before the end of the year for tax reasons, but like...
Yeah, but why would he want to do it? I mean, it seems like... Yeah,
Can you talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing with the investment?
Can I talk about? I don't know.
Or do you want to? I mean, I'm curious.
Yeah, mostly just like, so our biggest issue is manpower. So like hiring employees is the like majority of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned to me before, and I don't think this is secretive at all. You also you want somebody with business acumen that's outside of yours to gain perspective from and to move forward, and that's what makes this guy like a more valuable business partner because you could get the compensation somewhere else.
The money is nothing, right? Like at the end of the day, like I could go take out a loan and own all of my business. It's more about
it's about buying his experience a little bit. Yeah, which is smart. I mean, that's the consideration.
It's a strategic partner. It's by no means like someone that...
Yeah, he's not going to be an operating partner. He's going to be a strategic partner. It's fine.
Like with this comes like a certain amount of his time, and like that's valuable in and of itself.
Yeah, but he wants to... Oh wait, I'm not going to.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm not going to. Anyway, so back to the last point, I think is, and what Jacob was kind of agreeing with there is like, just make sure there's a broad understanding of what's going on. That's all. I mean, you don't have to hear that from me. You already know that, but I'm just saying it.
From what I understand, which is not a great deal, but I know a little bit about business law, and essentially, if you write a contract, there has to be some sense to, if you were to defend what your actions, that it would be explainable through your intention in the contract.
It's kind of like, exactly. So what Jacob's saying, so there has to be compensation in a contract for certain, like, so let's say I was working for Nicole, and in Oregon, I left the company voluntarily, and I had trade secrets, and I wanted to start a company that was similar to hers. If she and I signed a non-compete agreement in the state of Oregon, I believe that in order to maintain that contract, I need to be compensated because the skills I learned there I can't use anymore. So you're holding me back from using those skills. So like business contracts can be really, really complicated. And in the end, they're probably not enforceable except by really large companies because litigation is very expensive. So you want to get to a point where you defend yourself so that you don't have to litigate. Like you're the owner, you're the decision maker.
Right. Well, the thing is, he has a degree in business law from like Brown or something crazy. So
he doesn't sign anything, and he just wants to give you money.
Yeah, because he knows that like they're probably not enforceable anyway, no matter how he wrote it.
So the thing is, like, we have a good relationship. It's not.
That's what's more important than anything.
It's not like he's some stranger I met on the street. You know, like it's someone I know, and like.
Oh, okay. I mean, if someone wants to give you some money, then it's all right. Go ahead.
My phone smells weird.
Maybe we'll see.
There we go. Now you're smelling something.
Yeah.
No, stop smelling things.
We were starting to feel like maybe something was wrong. You hadn't sniffed anything in a while.
Raw Code. Who's Raw Code again? Oh, that's your husband.
Yeah.
I
guess he's watching.
He's not talking out loud tonight. He's just over the corner.
No, I've told him that he's not
contracts can protect you, but you have to be able to enforce those contracts. And in order to enforce those contracts, you need the law, and it's civil law, and you have to pay for that. It's not criminal law. So when you really get down to contracts, they should be enforceable. What is the word I'm looking for? I don't think it's ad juris. It's like I should be in control to a certain that I don't have to use any sort of law, because if I do, it's going to be very expensive. So
clarity in your language.
Like,
so
there's no way. So let's say you gave this guy.
It's not debatable.
So I gave you money and you didn't make me a member of your LLC or corporation, and everything just kept going forward. Then basically you set a precedent that said, I just gave you $1,000 or lent it to you or whatever. So in the end, it's like if an investor isn't a member of the corporation by law, then they have no ownership. Now moving forward, if there's a sale and the money goes to the corporation, but the person doesn't have any rights to any of the banking, then how are they going to get the money unless you give it to them? They have to trust you, right? Otherwise, they have to go to court, and the amount of money has to be large because it's going to cost lots of money to litigate. So, I mean, these are the real truths about business. You just have to defend yourself by being in control. It's like the whole Bitcoin thing. It's like you are in control of the private key. You're in control of how the business works, why it works, the financials, and everything else. And you fairly pay everyone agreed to the capacity in which the agreement has been made. No more, no less, nothing else. There's another agreement that is separate. That's fine. You can make that later. But in business, the agreements are everything. I mean, that is how business is built, on those agreements. And that's like, it's the way that customer service works too. It's like when somebody doesn't feel like the agreement has been met. Now, there are scammers. There truly are. And those are outside of the normal business curve. So scammers are outliers, because most people just want to do business, get what they wanted, and like be happy about what they're doing. Like, most people are not scammers, and they never will be. And that's the truth. That's the truth that I guess I shouldn't say that is the truth. I believe that as truth. And that's the only reason I'm in business. Otherwise, I would just get scammed to death and I'd go out of business. So,
do you already have a contract or some kind of agreement written up? Or a verbal one, maybe?
Like informally, sure, yeah. I mean, I have like proposal and.
Informal becomes formal if they're in lieu of any other agreement, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you're basically at this point, it seems like he's comfortable, providing you with the funds. So, I mean, I would feel comfortable.
Trust you because he knows you're trustworthy. If you said to me right now, Corey, for $10,000, I'm going to give you a 10% stake in my company or whatever. I'm not saying that that's his stake. I'm saying I feel that if I did that with you, and I understood that I own 10% of your company and I got 10% of the profit at the end of every year or every quarter or whatever, that you would pay that to me, I wouldn't even question. I wouldn't question that. I believe that you have integrity and you're looking to be a good business person, and but at the same time, like, it would be very hard for me to enforce that agreement in any way, shape, or form. It's almost all on faith, you know. It really is, unless you get into like really large amounts of money that, you know, where litigation makes sense, you know.
I don't think that we're at like a point where, I mean, I've had people look over, everything is like pretty, I'm not worried about the basics of our situation. I'm more worried about like, I'm super pissed that he is not holding up his end of things like again.
Yeah.
Again?
I don't like
this
that
isn't
either.
the first time.
Like, accountability is everything. It's everything. You already know that. It's like, how can you have a partner who isn't accountable? He's not a partner then. He's an investor, and it's like, it's different. You know, it's different.
Yeah, and I don't need an investor necessarily.
No, you need
He was gonna meet up with you and
No, just like other things. I mean, it's been a really long, like 8 weeks of my life, you know?
sure. I think it's only gonna get longer.
No, but you've learned a lot, right? Like, it's been like a master class in a lot of different things.
I basically just took like business 101 over the last 8 weeks with the help of someone who knows a lot about business.
No, this is like business 505. This is not business 101. You went through business 101 a long time ago. No, you're more advanced than 101, definitely.
Are you hiring right now?
I'm sorry?
Nicole, are you hiring right now?
Yeah, why?
Like part-time or full-time?
Well, talk to me when this is over.
Okay.
She doesn't want to work with Jacob anymore.
Guys, I had someone come in and for an interview, and they literally said, one of the first things out of their mouth, I was like, so tell me about yourself. And they were like, oh, yeah. And I was like, so what, like, why are you, or what did I say? Something like, why are you interested in the job? Like, what do you know about the position? And they were like, yeah, well, I don't really know anything about the job, but I watch your videos, and I thought it'd be really cool to meet you.
What?
Well,
the fuck?
To be fair, it's kind of cool to meet you.
That's flattering. That's flattering, but
I have no time to waste, and somebody was in my office wasting my time.
yeah, that's not cool.
No,
I like to waste your time at least like couple every other day. I waste a little bit of your time.
Yeah, I get a lot out. I waste your time too, so I get a ton.
So yeah, Erica, Erica, you know, I could be a character witness. I would hire Erica to do things that she's good at, definitely. I don't know exactly what she's great at though, but I'm sure she's really good at something because she's really smart and she's
reference right here.
I can attest to her
Why
quality.
are you hired? Okay, what's the? I want to. We can.
Erica is hired. I already hired her.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a job or is it for someone else?
No, it's for me.
What are you looking to do?
Okay, I just like need to like be around other people. I feel like right now in my life, especially women, so like having another job to like go to, like maybe part-time, not full-time, sounds like really awesome to me. And I like think that I could easily work with you.
Well, I just got a large investment to hire people. So come on over.
So she heard.
That's awesome.
So
it's not a large investment actually, but
well, Erica has a very positive attitude and she's very intelligent. So, yeah, I think that.
Okay, so the problem with what I just heard you say is that you want to be around other people, and you aren't around other people at my office. To be honest with you.
What? Like nobody?
That's pretty. I actually am kind of a jerk, and I have it very split up to where I don't want like employees like I have them in. There's like 10 rooms in my office, and so I have it very much like antisocial because I had issues with employees just like standing around and talking and like not getting the work.
They each have their own dungeon.
Well, I mean, like, super good worker, so I don't know, but I just like even like I don't necessarily have to be like interacting with people, but just like be around people, just like have a conversation. Like, I mean, like I'm around him all day long, and we have conversations. But
now you know why she's trying to get out.
Well, look, I would totally hire you. I especially need people who can like sort things and find flaws. And I think you probably already have the eye to do that sort of thing. So, if you want to come by this week, you should, and we can talk from there. We can give you a little tour and see what you think. We can set up like a trial run.
That sounds cool. Yay!
I have to say, out of
I need to write back and ask him for the money really fast.
I've showed a lot of my friends the business, and no one's really taken to it like Erica has, and she has adapted it in her own way, and she has the mind to do it herself. She does it herself. She helps me. She's, improved my business significantly.
Awesome.
In ways that it would have taken me a lot longer to do myself. So she's definitely an asset.
Yeah. Well, you should come by the office this week then.
Don't you steal her?
I'll just message you.
Yeah.
No, first I steal Jake from you, and now
the only other thing is like right now I'm really looking for people who are going to grow with the company. Like we're really projecting a lot of growth, and I want people who are in it for a longer period of time. So
I'm willing to. I'm flexible, so I'm not like saying it's just going to be for a short time if I love the job.
Yeah, I think you probably would. We're pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I love what you're doing. So.
Oh yeah, come by the office. We'll talk, or we'll figure it out.
Okay.
On the air.
We can hang around for a second after I take this off the air in a minute, and I'll leave, and you guys can hang out for a second.
I almost worked recording tonight.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to that happy hour too. I got the kibosh there.
Oh.
I will trust her with my child. Dude, we're very weird. Like, we don't trust a lot of people with our kid, honestly, at all.
In the same exact way.
So Joe worked for DHS, Child Welfare. So like 3 people are allowed to watch our children ever.
Yeah, basically, me too. It's like Erica and 2 other people. Like Erica, my sister, and like my mother.
Yeah. So no one is allowed to watch Delilah. It's super.
Or the kid I babysit, so we make a lot of art together, and like it was just like stacking up. So for Christmas, I made this for his parents. Like, all the different pieces of art and like made like the border, and then.
Well, my kids come to the office all the time, so you're hired.
Exactly.
I feel like all my employees, I have to be like, so you like kids enough, right? Because like my kid's gonna want to like hang out with you, maybe sing a Frozen song or 2. Like
also, Bennett has autism, and Jake's sister, who we also take care of, has autism too.
Oh yeah.
I'm super familiar with ways to go around.
Kids that have needs.
Yeah, kids that have a
Different.
little.
He does spent his day making lists. So he made a lot of lists, and then he would ask people questions, and then he would put them into either like. So one of his questions was like, "Do you like pugs?" And then there was like 2 columns, and then he was making lists, and then he was figuring out the percentage of people who liked them versus who didn't like them.
That's amazing.
I love that. That's
You
amazing.
understand that he is in 2nd grade and he's figuring out percentages of people. He's not making a pie chart, but he's making a fucking pie chart.
Exactly. No, he's like doing statistical analysis, and he's like 7.
Yes.
That's awesome.
What is that shit though? I don't know how to parent this.
Get him some math books.
He
can
does.
read
And then he has he played with his rock collection for a while, and he's really into like math stuff, so he's like separating out in different categories. Good shit. You'll like him, Corey. I think when you meet him, you'll have long, in-depth conversations with him.
We will do. Things got really, really busy here, and we were talking about doing dinner. I wasn't trying to I wasn't trying to it didn't.
Forgot, so you can just
No, it's not. I actually didn't forget. I just this is like very busy for both me and my wife right now. And then we're leaving on Friday morning. So we'll have to do it because they'll be in Argentina. So I'm going from the 22nd to the 4th. We're going to be in New Orleans, and then they're going back to Argentina on the 3rd. Excuse me, on the 3rd they're flying to Argentina, and then I'll go meet them there on the 22nd, and then we'll stay for a week, go to the beach, and then come back. But after that, time snuck up so fast, and then so it's summer there when it's winter here. So I don't go and have some nice time at the beach in the sun. Like I can't stay for that long, but they can,
Yeah.
So go enjoy it. It's the weather's
really expensive, so like.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot. It's having that break where it's not like nobody's taken care of or anything like that. Having that break where I can like really get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, work for 12 hours, get a lot done interrupted, and do that for 2 weeks. I'll be so tired at the end of it, and then mixed in there is like blowing off some steam as well, hanging out with some friends of mine that I don't hang out with normally, or don't have the time to hang out with. So it'll be a combination of like really good stuff, but just not having that this like making the transition really work to the new space, so that in the beginning of February we can have intake, we can have like people coming in, we can start to promote and that kind of thing. So yeah, but yeah, it'll be fine. We've done it before. It's not the first time. Like like when I was growing Delivery Dudes here, it was the same thing. It's like I'm running a business, I can't leave. I wish that one was more profitable, though. I'd be in a much better place right now. Anyway, so yeah, so we'll be back, late. They'll be back like late February, but I'll be really available to like assist in any projects or anything like that. So I'll have like much more time to dedicate to just business in general, which is good. It'll be temporary, but good.
I think that like being able to put your head down for those 3 weeks and just push everything out is going to be really, really good for you.
Yeah, I really need that to happen. And since, yeah, I mean, my sales this month were really, 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 really good, and my margins were exceptional, and across both platforms, and so, I mean, I didn't meet the expectation. I didn't meet the goals that I had set, but they were very, 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 very strong for Q4. But I actually see how I could have done it, and I know how to. I think I know how to get much, much farther next year. So that's really what counts. I don't know. I don't know why I picked this model to experiment with. I really don't. I just kind of followed my instincts a little bit. So let's see if it works.
That's all you need to follow, really. I mean, instincts are the basis of good decisions.
Well, it penciled out too, obviously. Like it penciled out first, and then instincts came in after. I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to blend those two perfectly, but who was saying? Mal says my wife Argentinian. Yes, my wife is from Argentina. I've spent a lot of time in Argentina. My kid was born in Argentina, and we were there for about until she was. Yes, she was born until she was like a little past the age of 1, and then I got the opportunity to develop Delivery Dudes. Came back from the United States, tried that. Didn't really work that well. I mean, it was sustainable as like an income, but it wasn't growing how I needed it to. So that's where I am sitting here right now, I guess. Otherwise, I'd be a delivery service tycoon.
Oh, well, I'm really glad you're not.
It wasn't my calling, certainly. I just it was too convenient, and there wasn't enough initial capital to really drive it to where it needed to be first. You need to drive up adoption really hard in the beginning, otherwise you just become irrelevant. Which I already knew, but no one would basically support me on that, so that became very, very difficult. Yeah, show. What time is it? Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Okay. Well, I think that's a did. So we Jacob and like I said, Jacob and I were talking about cryptocurrency. We thought we'd just come on and kind of have a little chat about it. But we've been kind of discussing it privately and discussing certain things. And my tip to everybody, and this is learn about, even if it's things to resell, learn about what cryptocurrency is. Trade $1 of it, $2 of it. See how it works, because like things are changing, and it's really hard to just listen to other people's opinions about how things will be or won't be. You really have to like gain the experience and do it yourself if you want to be an entrepreneur. It's not, no one's going to hand you the golden key to the office. You have to go out, find the gold, hammer it into a key, then mold the lock and do all that stuff yourself. None of this has probably come to anybody sitting here very easily. Like everyone, Kayla developed a model and is still developing a model that really works for her and that makes her happy and drives the growth that she wants, and like at the end of the day makes her happy. Jacob's developing different ways to run his business and acquire products, because his business is more of a product acquisition company, an opportunity acquisition company, than like a growth based company. He's trying to do a little bit different than I'm doing, which is interesting. And then Nicole is like just experimenting with things that I think are like really cool. So it's really cool to see that journey. Don't cover your face like that. You're horrible. Like that wasn't even a compliment and you cover your face. You're bad at taking compliments. Whenever I say something nice to Nicole, she's like, I can't talk right now.
That was pretty tame.
It was very, very tame. No.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
We're going to stop this broadcast. Bye-bye.